Hello Superuser, so in today's video I'm going to respond to several of your comments in video format. Now first of all, sorry for basically being offline for the last month and a half. I've been having to deal with some personal and health issues that I'd rather not talk about, but it made it a bit hard to really respond to anything online. But rest assured, everything is good now, but it's been like a month and a half, and so there have been like a lot of comments, a lot of emails, and a lot of Facebook posts and Facebook messages and things like that that I haven't had time to read, so it'll take a while to catch back up on things as well as other work that I have to do. So it may be a week or two before I'm able to regularly upload videos on this channel again. But I thought I would get a head start today by going through several of your comments that I missed. Now just a heads up, today is not going to be a heavily edited video, so there may be mistakes. I'm literally doing this as fast as I can, that way I can get back to catching up on everything. And also because several people have asked for it, I have created a Patreon page. There is a ton of extra content that's going to go up there. A lot of it is stuff that I just haven't posted to YouTube yet. Some of it is stuff that just wouldn't make a good YouTube video. And I think there's like, 40 minutes of content already there, so if you're missing out on Finale Superuser content and you really want more, that is a great place to get started. Link is in the description. So the first question was on Facebook from a while back by, I believe it was Mike Muncher, who asked, why is it that I have everything is labeled black here? For instance, like if you go to view, or I believe it's colors, colors. Everything in here is black except for the layers. And that's mainly because it's easier to see where all the collisions are and to make sure that what I'm seeing on the screen is exactly what's going to be printed out. If for some reason I, go back over here, let's go to, where is it? I'm rarely in this menu. Smart shapes. I believe it's usually like some sort of red. Yada yada. Let's call it that red. I believe it's something like that. I could be wrong, but I believe it's around there. You'll notice that now, if I were to have a collision like this, it's slightly harder to see because your brain automatically associates the two different colors as two different objects. But if I go back to pure black like it was, it's like very clearly that is messy. There's just a little thing like that. And plus, like after a while with using Finale, you really start to know what's a smart shape, what's an expression, what is a smart line or chord, and all those other things, so you don't really need the colors to understand the program. Okay, and now the next question, let's go from YouTube. Content very good, glad it helped. Oh yes, this question. This is basically asking about if you were to have a chord like this, and I don't know, the top note, you want it to be large, but the rest to be small. And they pointed out that yes, you can actually use the Resize tool to resize notes like this. I believe there's also a built-in functionality that does this faster. I think it's called like Resize Notes. It's been a while since I've used it, so yeah. Resize Notes, yes, it's a plugin. Plugins, Notebeam rest editing, and then Resize Note heads that you can do all this. Oops, highlight it first. The reason why I haven't used this in the past or a lot recently is that there's actually a built-in functionality to the JetStream Finale controller that does all this for us. So that's how you would do something like that. It is not a Q note, although you can use the Resize tool to create Q notes. Okay, cool. And then, okay, so I believe what they're asking, if I'm not misunderstanding it, is if you have a bunch of eighth notes like this, how to make them play back as swing. I'll look at this exact question in a lot more detail when I respond to it in the comments, but if I'm understanding it correctly, the easiest way is, I believe there is a default expression called swing. You can just assign that. If you don't want to use that default expression, or perhaps you deleted it, you can change the swing playback. Let's create a new tempo marking under playback, and then you can choose, I believe somewhere around here is swing. And you could set the value to be like 70, I believe is for average swing. It's been a while since I've actually had to do this by hand, but that will make it play back as swing. You can also, if you wanted to do it the entire, what would you call it? The entire document, you can use the playback controls and hit this little arrow. I think actually might need to go to jazz. You can change, the swing to 100 is standard, 75 is light, okay, and then 125 is heavy, and this will control the swing playback for the entire document. I think that's what you're asking. If not, I will respond to it more accurately when I actually reply to the comment. Next question. Do you have a video of doing tuplets within tuplets? Right now, no. Very soon, yes. That's like near the top of my list. If you need to know right now, I believe Jason Lafretta with Conquering Finale has a video all about speedy entry. And in there, somewhere in the middle, he basically goes over how to do nested tuplets, I think. Not 100% sure with that. But yes, that video is coming. Can't guarantee a time right now because, like I said, I'm still catching up on everything. Thanks, but why not GitHub? This was in relation, I believe, to the Dropbox. That I have a Dropbox with a bunch of my JW Lewis scripts, which, by the way, if you want them, just go down to the description and there will be a link to get to this Dropbox with all the JW Lewis scripts. Long story short, there is a GitHub. Right now, it's just not very user-friendly. So I did not link to that because if you don't know about a GitHub, or if you don't know what Git is, and are not technically all that advanced with the terminal, which is very possible, this could be a bit confusing for you, so that's why I didn't do it. We're in the process, at least the last I checked a month and a half ago, of making it a lot more user-friendly, but there is a GitHub. I will link to that in the description. Thanks, glad you're liking the content. Okay, your horn parts, but split it up 2 parts. Okay, so I believe, if I'm understanding this question correctly, you're wanting to know how to do 2 horn staffs with horn 1, 2, 3, and 4. And so let's just add another staff. So I'll share with you a quick bonus tip that I usually use. And so I usually actually, when I'm writing horn chords, I will write it all 4 parts on one staff. And then there is a JW plugin called JW Staff Polyphony. And then under staves, you can split it to multiple staves. And there's a spot for split voicings, 1, 3, and 2, 4, which is perfect for horn parts. So that's when I create chords, I usually go that route. I have a personal JW Lewis script that does it faster than me, but if I were to do it manually, that's how I would do it. I haven't released that JW Lewis script yet because it's still buggy. But anyways, you're talking about the numbering over here. So what I would personally do is I would label both of these staffs as with their full name. Let's see, this is going to be 2 and 4. You know, you could do the baseline offset to get it perfect, which is what I would normally do, but I'm kind of doing it fast. And that video that the question was commented on, this video explains the baseline offsets perfectly. Get rid of auto numbering style, then same thing up here, no auto numbering, and this is going to be like 1 and 3, and then 1 and 3. So I would number it like that. There's many ways you can actually do it, but that's the way I do it. And then I have a group, and you can actually assign horns to be this group name. So let's just take this bracket real quickly. And of course, you could always create a group with staff, and then I believe it's create a group, groups and brackets, and then it'd be like add. And then under full group name, I would say horn NF over here, and then abbreviated name, HN, dot like that. You can play around with the positioning, but that's how I would do horns 1, 3, and 2, and 4. Perhaps I should make an entire video going over that in detail with like all the specifics, but that's how I would do it. And then each of these is just the same managed parts as before, as shown exactly in this video. Is there a way to copy a text box via Mac, like Alt and drag, etc.? I have no idea. I will figure that out later if it's possible and reply to you in that comment. Glad I'm helping so much. Cool. And the good logo link seems to not be working. Is there an updated link? I will fix that. It should still be working, but I will at least make sure if that link isn't working, comment and reply with an updated link. Okay, cool. Next comment. This does not quite fit into the topic of the video, but since the deal with score and parts visibility, situation refers to multiple movements like a symphony and page numbers. Okay. And basically asking, because every instrument is going to have a different page number when you finally create the part. I believe that's what that is going to be asking. So like if, every part was 3 pages or 4 pages, it'd be really easy to reset the total page numbering over here. But what if it's in different parts? What I would actually do, and what I have done for multiple movement things, is, so it is possible to do this manually. It's going to be really hard if you use extracted parts instead of linked parts. I believe it's under File, Extract Parts. It's been so long, extract parts. It's been so long since I've actually done that. I prefer linked parts, but it's actually possible to create multiple movements in one file. I have a video on this. I believe someone actually commented on this video. Yeah, this video up here. I'll link to that in how about both the description and to this comment. That's how I would do it, and that keeps the page numbers exactly the same. It does require merging everything into one part, or into one file, but that's how I would do it. Defining a page number for each part is one way to go, but that means ending up. Yes, and if you have them all in one part, that basically solves that problem. Or all of them in one file, that basically solves that problem. This video of how to create multiple movements in one file has been long overdue for an update. I think there's actually better methods now than what's shown there. But that video will come out, so look forward to that, and that will also explain this. And in that video, I'm going to be talking about both score merger. Perhaps I might actually split it up into 2 videos with score merger as one video, where you can combine them. I always forget where score merger is because I have a shortcut for that. There, it's under File, Score Merger, and you can basically select multiple scores. As long as the instrument list is the same, it'll work out correctly. And then I have a JW Lewis script for actually creating the movement titles, which really speeds up this entire process. And once you do that, it's almost trivial to have multiple movements in one file. Cool. Now, next question. How would you handle cue notes for each instrument when there's 2 parts on one staff? Coming from the other flute part. I'm trying to think if there's a reason why you'd have to do it differently than normally doing cue notes. The main reason why I think it'd be weird to do it differently is because the score is going to have both sets of cues. The easiest way to do that is actually to get rid of that is to have a staff style. And so let's go up to the staff tool. There should be a staff style for like blank staffs, like blank notation layer 1, blank notation layer 4. And you could just apply this to the top layer, and if the cue is on layer 2, I believe it's under alternate notation. Yeah, apply it to layer 2, and you can basically uncheck whatever you want. And this will make sure it is completely blank. So cool. That is my first thought on how to do it. That's actually not a bad question. Again, it could be another video topic. I'm not sure if I'll create a video on that one for sure, but it's an idea. Cool, excellent. Lessons in Italian. Long story short, I still have to figure out how to do a translated lesson. Last I checked, it's really hard to do that without like paying for a live translator. But it might be possible. Error message, I'll deal with that more specifically. Cool. And now we're back into Jetstream stuff for when we announce that. In terms of very buggy and crashes, I haven't seen a lot of the bug reports in the last 6 weeks, but at least in the first couple days of Jetstream being out, most of the comments about it being buggy and crashing, I hate to say it, but it was mostly just wasn't set up completely properly. And specifically with the iPhone version, any bugs of it crashing for the iPhone version, that would not be something in our control, because if it's crashing, that is likely an Elgato Stream Deck thing. But I could be completely wrong, and I will look at what people have said about the Jetstream since a couple days after launch, because I could be completely wrong and it might actually be legitimately buggy and crashing. I personally have not had any issues with it crashing. And all the bugs I've ever had in the beta versions when we were testing this have all been fixed. These are all questions about what exactly is Jetstream. And I believe that is all the YouTube comments that I haven't yet responded to. So that is it for today's video. If you made it for the end, by the way, and if you made it to the end, feel free to subscribe, although you're probably also already subscribed, and I will hopefully see you soon in another video soon.